So I keep getting asked how to make this stew. Is what my grandpa used to make, which is basically meat stew, and it's called caldo. But there's different ways to make it. I make it like my grandpa, but the only difference is I season the meat and cook it first, as opposed to him. He would used to put everything together in water and boil the meat with the vegetables, which gives you a good vegetable flavor. I like to give it a good meat flavor. With it all cooked together, so it's mostly a meat flavor, but not overpowering the vegetables because then all the flavors come together. So, oh, one more thing, you can start again. So the one thing I did want to add was beef broth, but I'll show you how to add that here in a minute. So I'm basically gonna season the meat. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna use. This gives it a good, nice meat flavor. I got the chopped garlic, which I'm gonna use. You can use some chopped onion or garlic. Pretty much gives it kind of the similar flavor. And then I'm gonna use, you can either use regular salt or just, I like to use Lawry's seasoned salt. We're gonna put more as we go, so we don't want to overpower it all at once with too much salt. And then some onion powder. We're gonna put onion powder as it's cooking also with the salt, and then some of this. So the fajita seasoning, onion powder, and this, I like to use this, and some Lawry seasoned salt. This is just like roasted garlic and herb. I use this with making brisket the other day, and it's pretty good. It's more like kind of like a rub for like steaks and stuff like that, but I like to put it on there a little bit. It has some pepper and stuff like that. I have it like a little bit more than simmering, so it's not high, but it's like in the middle, so I don't want to start off going really high. I'm just gonna put all that in there. I usually mix it up. You can stop it. Cause I'm gonna piece it together. So it's already seasoned, and you can already smell the flavor like that's gonna be on there. It smells really good. And I'm just gonna let this cook. I'm gonna stir it around as I need to. Eventually, I am gonna put a lid to capture the steam in there and a lot of the flavor, keep it just really soak into the meat and the vegetables. Add this has to cook in there while the meat's cooking, because it cooks into the meat, the flavor does. The only time that I'm going to add water or broth is after the meat's cooked and the vegetables are in there. And then we're gonna use some tomato sauce, just a little bit. And then we're gonna put the beef broth and then the water. And it's just gonna cover all the vegetables, so the vegetables can boil. It's not gonna be too much water. All right, take a look in here. See, it's already starting to form like liquid by itself, and I haven't even put water or broth in it. So that's good. That liquid is gonna be like filled so much with season and flavor. Now, if I was gonna make carne asada, I would use that flavor right there, that liquid, and put a little bit of flour in it, and it would turn into gravy, and then I would just put a little bit of water. But we're not gonna make that. But that's basically how you would make that, and the only difference is I would use all the same seasonings, except I would use comino, or my grandparents call it comino, cumin. I would use that. But I was gonna say one more thing. I have all the vegetables chopped, but I learned real quickly the first time I made this, when I put all the vegetables together, the zucchini is already soft. Unlike the carrots and the potatoes, which are really hard, they need time to boil. The zucchini, if you put it in there at the same amount of time, it's just gonna liquefy. So I like to put I'll put the carrots and the potatoes in there as it's boiling, and then at the very end, I will add the zucchini that way, because it's already soft and it doesn't take that long. So that way it still has a good texture to it. It's still kind of It's not liquefied or anything. It's not mush. All right. So now that the top's off, the steam has cooked all that flavor in there with the liquid. As you can see, there's still liquid in there. I didn't have it too high and let it dry up. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add all my hard vegetables. As we talked about earlier with the zucchini, it's too soft. Usually I have a little bit more carrots, but that was the only carrot I had left in my refrigerator, so we'll go with that. What I like to do, this is just, everybody has little quirks or little things they want to do. I like to stir it up a little bit, you know, stir that meat flavor and that liquid all around the vegetables. I am going to put some more seasoning here in a minute, but not until I have the liquid in there that I need. So what we're going to do now is put a little bit of tomato sauce. I don't like a whole lot because I don't want it to be overpowering with tomato like it's spaghetti sauce, because this is not, we're not making spaghetti. And now I'm gonna do the beef broth. Just drop that in. I'm gonna do it about halfway of what I'm gonna fill it up with, so that's half, and the rest of the other half is gonna be water. Because I don't use a lot of beef broth. It already has a lot of natural flavor in it already. Now I'm going to put the water, and I'm just going to put enough to where it covers the vegetables. And on this, I'm going to turn it a little higher because now it has to cook all of the everything in it. Now it's going to, you know, boil the water, boil the vegetables. It needs a little bit more heat for all that. Just stir it around, and I'm gonna put a little bit more onion powder, and what else? I'm actually gonna go with some regular salt with this. It's always good to not have enough than have too much. If you don't have enough, you can always add some more later. And we're gonna let that boil for a while, maybe like 20 minutes. All right. What I like to do is I like to rinse my vegetables off, especially my potatoes, because they usually have dirt on those guys. But anyways, the potatoes and carrots are pretty much soft in there. That's how you want to test them, is just to cut through them. And if they cut through really good and they're soft, you know they're ready. We'll go ahead and add my zucchini. And that's going to take a few minutes because they're already soft. It's going to be really good. I might add a little bit more salt here in a minute. And if you always want to, just going off of how it looks, iron it out, you can always add a little bit more broth or water. Add a little bit more broth, and it's pretty much done. I'm just gonna let it boil a little bit longer, and we'll give it a taste test because you always want to taste it before you serve it to all your people or family. All right, last part. Just taste it.
Shelby, she changed her mind. She don't want to. Oh no.
How's it taste? Okay, you get it. It's good. Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. And that's how you do that, and it tastes really good. So, man, it can use some salt, but other than that, it's really good. It's got all the flavor that needs to be in there, so that's how you make caldo. Thanks for watching.